best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. The best of bias. It's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast with Lydell, Dinero, and Hugo Twilight.
Two and a one. Boop. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Lydell Dinero. This is where
your boy, AKA. I guess I know doing that.
We did new intro.
I guess
we tried some. I don't know how good that went, but we tried it out. But we back with another episode of the Best of Bias podcast. God damn it! It is episode 106. Episode 106.
Yeah,
but yes, episode 106, and it's time for some pop culture. I ain't gonna tell you what today is because it don't even matter right now. But you know what today is gonna be? It's gonna be a nice episode, get you settled in, everybody home from work, whatever you're doing right now. It's gonna be a cool listen today. We got some pop culture topics for you from the past couple of weeks. You know how we get down usually, you know what I'm saying? AKA, how you feeling today?
I'm chilling. Just doing the damn thing.
Doing the damn thing. Any St. Patrick's Day plans?
Nah, nada.
Nah, nada. That's tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? The young Patrick's Day. Everybody asks me if I'm Irish. I'm not, but you know what I'm saying? Tomorrow I can claim that day as mine if you want to give it to me. I don't even got to wear green no more because they calling me handsome.
I ain't got to wear green because my last name, so shit.
Oh, yeah. So we good. But I'm probably still going to wear green.
I'm going to grab a Shamrock Shake.
I'm gonna wear my green shoes. They told me not to wear sneakers, but tomorrow I'm gonna wear my green shoes. Maybe they'll let me slide because it's you know what I'm saying, St. Patty's Day. But anyways, off that. Are you ready for some topics?
Oh yeah. Let's get
Best of Bias listeners, are you ready for some topics? I know you guys been missing us. It's been a whole week. You know what I'm saying? What you guys been doing? Listen to other podcasts, I hope. But you know what I'm saying? It's time for us. It's time for the Best of Bias. Let's get to that first topic, all right? First of all, you see the jersey. You see the goddamn jersey. Some of you guys knew it would happen. Some of you doubted it would happen. But Tom Brady is back. And guess what, to what team? Of course, it's the Buccaneers. Buccaneers, baby. Came back. Everybody thought he was retired. Everybody thought his family was like, get your ass home. You know what I'm saying? Watch the kids, do some shit like that. But after just 40 days, Tom Brady was like, hey, I'm back. The game has been calling my name. Y'all been talking about everybody else too much. Y'all been talking about Aaron Rodgers. Y'all been talking about Joe Burrow. You talking about Patrick Mahomes. Nobody's talking about me anymore. I'm just Papa Tom. You know what I'm saying? So he felt like he needed to come back, and I'm not mad at him because, we needed him because everybody didn't even think we were going to make the playoffs next year. Everybody thought we were going to fall off and become what we were in the past. But Tom Brady's back. And with that comes a lot of other players that want to play for us. Which comes a lot of fortune. I just got the old texaroo from the mother. I don't know. I can't answer that right now. Sorry, we're doing a podcast. But anyways, that allowed us to make a lot of moves that I think will be hella beneficial. So look out for the Buccaneers coming this season. I won't go too far into it because I am trying to get a sports podcast out this week too. Saturday. Look out for that. We're going to come in there, Sean E. and K-Swag. We're going to talk about it. But moving on, let's talk a little bit about Kyrie. Have you heard about the Kyrie situation? We talked about it a couple times on the pod. But I don't.
Yeah, about him not being vaccinated, yeah.
Yeah, and the stance he's been taking, yeah. He's not really anti-vax. It's just more so he's just choosing, he's anti-mandate, I guess. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? He's just standing up for the.
You don't want to be told what to do, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly. He's that, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, good on him. And if you feel like, you should be able to have that choice. But at the same time, you're kind of saving people's lives by getting vaccinated in a sense. So I don't know. All in all, in Brooklyn, he plays for the Brooklyn Nets, of course, for Best of Bias listeners who, don't really follow sports. But he's on the Brooklyn Nets. And in Brooklyn, there's a mandate to where if you're not vaccinated, you're not allowed to be in public venues without, mask, or specifically with the Nets, you can't play for the team or be in the facilities without being vaccinated. So he's actually only able to play games at away arenas and away games. So he's been missing a lot more games than he actually played this year for the Brooklyn Nets, which kind of you can say caused James Harden to be traded to the Philadelphia 76ers and stuff like that. And also Ben Simmons went to the Nets in return and he still hasn't played. So, and the season's almost over. There's only like 13 games left. And I think Kyrie Irving can only play 3 at home.
Wow.
Firstly, how do you feel about that?
You did 3 at home.
Yeah, he only can play 3 more. 3 more games total because they're away games. All the rest are at home, so he can't play.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, how do you feel about the mandate? How he can? I forgot the worst part. He actually came to one of their home games and sat courtside with no mask, which made it actually even more stupid that he can come as a fan and sit courtside with no mask and talk to the fans and talk to the players and everything, but he can't play as a player of the Nets on the court, which they need. But anyway, go ahead.
No, I was just like they're losing money. Like, what's the point of paying them all this money and only be able to use them for a few games?
Yeah,
they might as well just trade them. I mean,
right. But they traded a whole bunch of stuff to get him there, I feel like, and it's all just the mayor. They're actually having a back and forth with the mayor because they're feeling like the mayor should lift the mask mandate because it's a stupid rule. Not the mask mandate, just the vaccination mandate for Kyrie Irving's situation in general, because he should be able to play and they're paying him guaranteed money. And for them just to be giving him probably like $40 million this year to not even play all the home games, just to play sometimes. And he recently just scored 60 points, but it's like people are like poo-pooing it because it's like he only plays only so many games. So he should be out there dropping 60 a night because he'll be hella rested and shit like that. But it's an interesting situation because if they go to the playoffs and play home games in the playoffs, he won't be able to play if this mandate is still up. So, yeah.
That's fucked up. I mean, and it could be a good thing for him. Like, there's a lot of wear and tear being an athlete. So when you retire, you got to fucking be on pills and shit all the time. So he gets some time. He gets some time to rest. He gets the money still. I mean, he may not get those like accolades of like different achievements he could have been making while he's playing, but hey, at least when he's retired, he can go fucking play around with his kids and get them ready.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy too because he's like actually known for missing a lot of games from injury. Like a lot of the games he played with the Cavaliers and with LeBron James, he was out with injury. He got traded to the Celtics at one point, and he was injured for a lot of their playoff run. And then he comes to the Nets, and this happened. So people are kind of like, and he took some time away from the team, I think, last year, without really telling the team why. He just told them he's taking some time away and just didn't show up for a little bit. So there's a lot of stuff going on in his, in his life or in his, off the court stuff that makes people give people cause to pause, like what's going on with him. But at the same time, when he's on the court, he just performs so well. It's like he's such an asset on the court. You can't be mad at it on court because that's all that should really matter. His on-court performance, all his off-the-court beliefs and stuff really shouldn't affect you. You know what I'm saying? As an NBA, being a person in the NBA. So it's just crazy to see how he's not really being utilized.
I still don't get like the whole concept behind it. Everybody else on the team is vaccinated. What is wrong with him playing with them then? Because like if they're vaccinated, then if he gets it, they can't get it.
Yeah, it's
quote unquote.
Right. It's really none of the fans there are wearing masks, and they're sitting right on the team's ass, right next to the bench. So it's like, what the fuck is it's crazy. So, and KD has been hurt a little bit, so the team is like really low in the standings right now. But they have like a couple of the best players in the NBA. And they're headed toward the play-in tournament. And what if the play-in tournament they play at home or something? He's not gonna be able to play again. So it's just a fucked up rule, and they're in a weird place out there in Brooklyn. And hopefully they can fix it before the playoffs because it'll be shitty not to see Kyrie Irving in the playoffs after he's had these last couple of games, him and Kevin Durant. But moving on, let's talk a little bit about WNBA. New York Liberty, one of the most prominent WNBA teams out there in New York. Sabrina Ionescu goes there or plays for them. Oregon. You already know what's going on. The team got fined $500,000 for chartering a private jet to take them to games and like team activities, like money out of their own team's pocket. The league is fining them $500,000, saying that it sets a bad precedent and they don't want other teams kind of doing this, and they should be quote unquote, I'm not quoting what they said, but I feel like they're saying they should, live within their means as teams. Since they don't make a lot of money as a team, as an organization, they shouldn't be chartering jets and flying private, which I think is crazy. Why would you have these famous athletes flying like regular flights, having them fly fucking Delta? Like, what the hell's going on here? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they should be able to do whatever the hell they want, especially New York Liberty, because
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I understand if like they was like using actual company money or whatever, but they're using their own money. How the fuck you find somebody for using their own money? That's the
right,
stupidest shit I heard in my life.
right.
That like they should be. I don't know. So now they're paying whatever they need to charge these flights plus extreme amount of money.
Oh, you're kind of choppy right now. Can't really hear what you're saying.
You hear me now?
A little bit, but you're frozen on the screen. But you know what I'm saying?
Am I frozen now?
Yep, still frozen. Still.
Yeah.
You're all good.
Now?
No, yep, you're getting better.
Am I frozen
now? Yep, you're getting better. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep talking about it. Yeah, they only really make the highest contracts, only really a couple of $100,000, maybe $1 million, you know what I mean? So for them to, as an organization, put their money together to charter the flight, to get them to and from games and to enjoy team, festivities together is nuts. You know what I'm saying? Take even more away from, these women during damn near close to the, I guess, what was it? Equal pay day or whatever they call it in the government, where they're trying to support equal, like lowering the gap of payment wages between men and women. Like on the eve of that, they're just kind of like, what's up?
Can you see me now? Hear me now?
I can hear you. I can see you.
What is the gap between men and women? Is that preferring like to just like the WNBA compared to the NBA, or are you talking about in general?
No, just in general. I think
I'm pretty sure that's been like disproven though a few times.
Well, I'm saying today in general, I think they signed a bill to try to lower the gap in federal wages between men and women to the gender equality and wage.
I got to read on that because I don't know if there really is a gap. Is there? Like, how would they go about doing that?
I don't know. I'm just spitting out regurgitating what I heard. I'm the least political man in the world. I don't know nothing about these bills or nothing.
It's not political. I was just saying like that. I was like watching a bunch of shit about like where the statistics come from regarding like the gender wage gap.
Yeah.
But they don't take a lot of really important things into consideration, like on average, how much more men work than women.
Yeah.
And also the hourly wages, and also they don't take into the fact that women take time off for biological reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So at the end, all they do is take the annual income of a man and a woman,
mm-hmm.
and say, look, these people have at the end of the year make a lot less than these people, but they don't take into consideration the actual factors of why.
I feel that. Yeah. I feel like it's be a weird ass thing to try to assess in the first place. And I don't understand why people wouldn't get paid the same in the first place anyway, based on time.
I don't understand why it wouldn't just be hourly. It's like, look what they get paid annually. Like, if this person's salary, that's different. If on salary wise, if you both do the same thing at the same job and this person's getting paid more than you, only reason I can see is somebody getting paid more is seniority. That's the only reason.
Yeah, that'd be kind of nuts to notice though. You on somebody's paycheck, you see like 50 cents more, 30 cents more for being a male. Then this is not. I don't think we're seeing that out here in the regular. But maybe if it's like a federal level, I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, it's kind of fucked up that they would get fined $500,000 for some shit like that. Like it probably cost them $500,000 to fucking charter that shit. More than that. So yeah, I think it's kind of fucked up. I thought we were getting closer to kind of treating the WNBA better and valuing it more. We had this thing last year or during the bubble time where we were really supporting the WNBA, but allowing them to fine the New York Liberty $500,000 for something so petty is just crazy. And I hope, and to threaten to like take the team away over some shit like that, something that should be a slap on the wrist at most. $500,000 is nuts.
I feel like they don't even advertise the WNBA enough, to be honest.
Right. Because I think if we knew what these players actually made, we would be outraged. You got to take time to
Yeah.
actually look it up to find it out. But we know
But I
the
mean,
contracts to all these other players.
it's also due to what the actual organization makes. I believe the organization doesn't. I think it's actually in a deficit. If I recall, I read about something a while back, and hopefully it's changed for the better. But I mean, I remember at one point it was like not actually making money, so they were actually getting money from the NBA, to help them out.
That's nuts, though. There has to be some kind of way to make it more, market it better. They market every fucking thing else. And this basketball, everybody loves basketball. What can they love more than more basketball? And this is really competitive level. These women are great at basketball. We love to watch March Madness, but once they get to the WNBA, we don't want to watch no more. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I don't watch it. Yeah, I don't watch NBA, so.
Yeah,
it's like I don't know. I don't know if I'd watch NFL, like female NFL. I might actually. I fucking might actually.
that'd be dope as fuck, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple of women out there who are real fast and got the nice quick twitch, and they fearless as fuck. I mean, look at the MMA. Whenever you be having like UFC events and the females have to go, they be having some of the best fucking fights.
Yep. And I've already seen like a couple of female kickers. I think one was in college, actually, a couple in high school. So hopefully soon. Damn, you can barely touch anybody in the first place now in the NFL without getting flagged. So might as well. I feel like it won't. I don't know. They're already kind of trying to make everybody stop playing football due to the violence. So I don't know if they would integrate women into the NFL before they cancel football. So I don't know. But anyway,
I don't think they can integrate them. But a kicker, that would be okay. But kicker still got to hit. Like if the runner gets past everybody else, kicker is the last point of contact. So before he gets she has to take that one for the team.
Yeah, it's like fuck. If you touch the kicker, it's a dead ball. They can't kick the ball. I don't know. And moving on, Apple joins the war efforts by pulling all its products from Russia. All Apple products, Apple Pay is not available there no more. Google Maps or Apple Maps isn't available there anymore in support of Ukraine. And, how do you feel about that? A bunch of these American companies kind of getting involved in the war efforts by not supporting or taking their money out of Russia.
I mean, yeah, whatever helps, I guess. Like, I still, feel real bad for what's going on over there, and I feel like Putin's being a bully right now. So, yeah, whatever helps out. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go over there and fight. I don't think we should start a world war over this.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like he's being a bully and he's doing way too much. I like people are like showing parallel clips of him in the past, like discussing how heinous it is to shoot missiles at a civilian building and stuff like that, and then they like showed what he's doing today, shooting missiles at civilian buildings and stuff. So it's like,
yeah, I heard that. Well, I didn't hear. I saw that the U.S. is giving $13.6 billion to the Ukraine in war efforts. I'm not necessarily knowing where we got the money from, you know what I mean? But we are giving them money in support. I don't even know what the money is going to go towards because it's a lot of goddamn money. But I guess war does cost a lot of money, and to support a war costs a lot of money as well. But if these gas prices go down, I'm all for it. I'm just playing because that's just crazy. I think you froze again.
You're back. Did I freeze?
You're back.
Did I freeze? I was saying, I think I heard that. I don't know how true this is, but I heard that in the past, I don't know if it was the United States, if it was fucking United Nations, whatever the fuck it is, convinced Ukraine to get rid of their nuclear weapons program. And then like Russia agreed that they would, fall back and wouldn't fuck with them. And then I guess the rest of, the United Nations was like, oh yeah, and if they do fuck with you, we're supposed to help you. That was years ago. No, I think that was back when I don't know if that was Obama or Clinton. I forgot which fucking president it was, but clearly we didn't follow through with that. So I guess they're like, yeah, we're gonna give them a little bit of money,
It's a little bit of money. It's a lot of bit of money.
It's a lot of bit of money, but I mean,
for sure.
When you sitting there supposed to be like, hey, yo, like he's at my back and fight with me in this world. Hey, my dog, I'm a dude though. I ain't gonna fight with you, but I'm gonna give you some money so you can buy some boxing gloves.
I'm about to say
some Vaseline and shit for your face. You be good. So You slip the punches and shit.
Yeah, I ain't gonna fight in the war with you, but you can buy a lot of bullets with this money.
Yeah.
And if the guns stop working, you can throw the bullets at them. No, I'm just playing, but yeah, that's kind of crazy. 13.6 bill. Like, did that go? Fuck. It's hard to think. Like, the government, does it go to their government? Like, the government's at war right now. What are they gonna do with that money? Does it go to NATO? Does it like?
Maybe they're gonna give it to them in the form of guns and weapons.
Oh, $13.6 billion worth of something, and they made it sound good when they said we're gonna give them money.
But I mean, shit, they probably need weapons and guns and shit. So they probably like, well, we gonna buy with it anyway, so give us that.
You go to Wakanda, get you a force field, make that shit. No.
No, I mean, I don't think they're gonna help them out because they're gonna be like, y'all niggas is fucking with my niggas in your country, so
all right, so
you ain't letting them escape.
Tony Stark. No, I'm just playing. So moving on, everybody again. Prayers out to everybody in the Ukraine. Shoot, that shit is crazy, man. It's crazy at this time and age we're seeing another war. I mean, I guess there's wars all over the world. It's just one we're actually getting.
They're focusing on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's typically what it is. They only focus on the ones that are somewhat important to them.
Yeah, which is nuts. Yeah. The media strikes again. But next, we got Nike leaves Foot Locker. This is kind of a sudden and abrupt and kind of interesting to me. Nike is taking all of its products out of Foot Locker stores because Nike makes at least 70% of Foot Locker's profits. Everybody likes that Nike. Nobody's buying that Adidas and that Converse and all that other shit no more. Well, they are, but it's only 30% of their profits. Everything else is Nike pretty much. So Nike is seeing this and it's like, oh, we can make more money if we just sell it straight from our stores, straight from online from us, rather than letting you guys eat off of pretty much just all of our products. Unless I feel like they probably try to negotiate more money from Foot Locker.
Probably.
And they're like, nah. And they're like, okay, fine, then we're out of here. When they did that though, Nike dropped 30% in market value, which equated to $900 million.
What you said, Nike did or Foot Locker?
Nike, Foot Locker. Excuse me. Foot Locker dropped 30% in market value. Foot Locker was like, oh, so they got to pivot some way. Just like super fucking promote Adidas. You better put some Yeezy Gap in Foot Locker or some shit because it doesn't look good for them. The malls and stuff are kind of becoming obsolete anyways. The online age is kind of hitting hard. People are shopping online more anyways, but yeah, I don't know. I remember Foot Locker magazines, East Bay magazines, those went away.
East Bay ain't go away. I still get that shit. Well,
really?
Well, I take that back. I haven't gotten it in like 2 years, but I was getting it before that.
Well, it's kind of, I feel like it's obsolete now when you can just go online and buy it. You don't got to wait for a magazine.
Well, I mean, you can go East Bay online, but
that's what I'm saying.
You can look at the magazine. Magazine's good, so you can look at like, different shoes and shit and figure out what you want to buy. It's easier than going online and.
I think the company probably just pivoted and realized they're wasting a lot of paper by doing that when they can just promote online.
100%.
That's a lot of them bitches used to have like 40 to 50 pages of catalog in there with everything in it. But yeah. Oh yeah, I used to love them. I used to, when I was a kid, circle the stuff I used to want and kind of would go back and try to buy, especially in the football season. I'll be up in there, my gloves right here, Under Armour. Let me get my Nike gloves here. Let me get this and this. This is what I'm gonna have for the football season. So yeah, I used to fuck with East Bay heavy, but it's kind of weird to see Nike just kind of pulling out and just going straight online. Hope they don't become like one of those stores that, all the shit's hella hard to get in stores and online now. You ain't gonna find it in Foot Locker. And I'm still interested to see if they're gonna be on like Champs and stuff like that. That's not really affiliated with Foot Locker. So maybe they gave them a bigger bite of the apple. And they're like, okay, we'll still fuck with y'all, but we pulling out of all Foot Lockers because they grimy. Shout out Foot Locker though. I actually worked for them for a long time, like 3 years. Shit. Shout out Foot Locker. But it's sad to see. It's sad to see that shit that they're pulling Nike from there because I rock with Nike heavy and sheesh, I'm 70% of your sales. It's a big thing. Moving on, what we got next? You want to talk a little Kanye and Pete Davidson? The weekly Kanye segment?
I guess, yeah. Go ahead.
Should I introduce it? Okay. So basically, I guess Pete Davidson was fed up, man. Um, uh, he went ahead and sent some text messages to Kanye. I don't know if that's where you want to start. Should we start towards the part where Kanye put the video on online, kind of, saying that she doesn't want her
The
daughter on
girls.
TikTok? Yeah, her daughter's on
Yeah.
TikTok or going to Sierra Canyon. He wants more say as a father to say where school she goes to, and stop letting the leftist people control their minds and shit like that. Oh man, it's just kind of wild. But I kind of feel him on one certain point, but it's at the same time he kind of goes so extreme to it's like, God damn, is it really you, Kanye, saying this, or is it kind of like an episode? You know what I'm saying? But then it got kind of juicier when we saw, I don't know who posted them online or how he got access to these messages, but Pete Davidson was texting Kanye West, and pretty much Pete Davidson was talking about how he had enough of the slander and the public humiliation. He's been quiet for all this time, but it's time for Kanye to knock it off because he's acting like a child pretty much. He said, I'm just kind of summarizing what this a long ass message. And he was kind of saying that Kim Kardashian is the best mother he ever met. And she does the best she can as a parent. But what you're doing to her in the public is, hurting your family, this, and that. And then Kanye was kind of responding like, oh, come to, where you at right now? and shit like that. And then Pete Davidson hit him with the line. It was like, I'm in bed with your wife, and sent him a picture. And yeah, we got kind of nuts. And then they're kind of going back and forth. He was like, I know you just got out of rehab and you're doing good now. Happy to see you're back after you were ducking at Saturday Night Live when we came up there. And we know you was having a mental breakdown when we were pressing you or some shit like that. Come to Sunday service or some shit like that. And Pete was like, oh yeah, so if you want to talk, we can talk man to man. I'm not coming to Sunday service. This is not for the media. I don't want no pictures or anything like that around. I want to discuss this man to man and just, you know where I'm going to be. And if you want to talk, we'll be there. And then he was like, come to Sunday service pretty much and shit like that. And Kanye West was just kind of trying to fight him, you know what I'm saying? And he kind of got into some shit with DL Hughley saying that he makes enough money where he can get somebody to hurt him or something like that. And he has his address, posted his address online. It just got really messy. I know you heard about it. How you feel about all this that's going on? This weekly saga of the Kanye West story.
I don't really pay attention to it too much, to be honest. Like I hear about it, but it's like, I don't know. Where do you think his antics are gonna get him? I mean, it's Kim Kardashian, so it's like, I mean, she got famous from a porn. So I mean, I don't know. It's like, it's not that important to me. I don't know. It's just weird.
It is
Know.
weird, but it's just kind of crazy to me. It just gets worse and worse because I think Pete has a right to stand up for himself, but I feel like in any case that I'm in the bed with your wife is a killer line. That's gonna escalate.
That was dope as fuck. But
it was funny. He's a comedian, goddammit.
Yeah, I don't hold Pete Davis at fault, other than the fact that he's definitely like just a rebound guy, but he knows it. Because it's too quick. It's not like it was like she even waited that long. I mean, who knows how long they've been, messing like split up in the background, but just to like announce their divorce and then she immediately jumps with this dude and whatnot. So it's like, but other than that, I mean, he was being quiet, he was being respectful. So yeah, I mean, eventually you get fed the fuck up, and
especially in public. He is a person too. He has a reputation too. If you're just gonna keep slandering his name, he's obviously gonna come out and kind of say something, try to defend himself. And he tried to do it privately, but for whoever posted online was kind of weird for that because this shit doesn't need to be public. Whatever they have to do with their family, they should just kind of handle it behind closed doors. Now it's just looking like a clown show reality TV thing that's just all for TV type shit. When this needs to be handled behind closed doors. And Pete Davidson is just a boyfriend of the, recently divorced couple. Shit happens. They should just.
Well, they're not even divorced yet, are they?
I don't know. I feel like
it's going through process though.
Well, I think he is more of a situation where he won't sign the papers and she's trying to get divorced, but he won't do it. And you can see the antics he's doing to try to get her back, especially he's not taking it well. It's a lot of shit going down in the story. Just weekly, something new comes out. It just gets crazier and crazier. They honestly just need to, if they're gonna fight, just fight and just put on some boxing gloves and box or something. No harm needs to come to each other. I just feel like all the antics and all the public shit is just, I don't know. It's not good for anybody. It makes all the family look crazy. And the kids are gonna grow up one day and see all the shit that's going on.
I think Kanye will get exposed in that. You don't know what Pete Davis know, but
Oh
Kanye is.
yeah.
I think he feels like one of them guys that's like super aggressive, but and super sure of himself, but it's never actually fought probably. And we get out there and then realize that, oh shit, I have to punch.
Well, you gonna pay somebody to come out and sucker punch his ass. Ain't nobody gonna be around and videotape it. I did it. Yeah. Nah. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just a wild situation. And I actually don't know. I don't know. Kim Kardashian hasn't really spoke on it, but I know their family is just probably gonna use it for their TV show.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
Is Kanye is he ever on their show?
It used to be.
Really?
Yeah, it used to be a lot actually. Yeah, until all this shit kind of went down and kind of like hasn't been around the family. And the show is over now. They moved to some kind of online shit, but I don't really know exactly what it is. It's supposed to be different from the reality show, but I doubt it. Moving on, Nick Cannon's talk show getting canceled after 6 months. The Nick Cannon show is a talk show, kind of like, I don't know if you're familiar with the Wendy Williams show. Her show was recently canceled, but Nick Cannon's show got canceled after 6 months. And it was like one of the daytime talk shows, came on really early, like around 10, 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Nick Cannon's Mr. Get It Bag, so he has his hands everywhere, trying out everything. But I don't know if this was necessarily the lane for him necessarily, but I feel like a lot of people like the show, and he was just getting his feet wet. I heard podcasts saying people of another pigmentation have done shows like this and have done way worse and had more of a chance to try longer than 6 months before the show got canceled. But Nick Cannon is getting canceled after 6 months, which is kind of rough. It's Nick Cannon, man. Give him more than a 6 month go. I think you'll see a really big uptick. Nick Cannon puts his all in everything he does, and I hear only good things about him. So I'm sure the show isn't doing that bad. What do you think?
I mean, I never watched the show, so I can't really call it. But I mean, it would be unfair for me to sit there and be like, yeah, it was because of him being black. It might have just been trash, but I don't know. Like if I was to see it, I feel like Nick Cannon is good, but I can see him being corny at times too, because he has his corny moments. But don't get me wrong, he's a hustler to the fullest. So
yeah, I just kind of feel like it's weird for him to do in a daytime talk show, being as the demographic for those kind of shows aren't really Nick Cannon's fan demographic. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So exactly. It's kind of hard for him to step into that lane and kind of do what Steve Harvey does, where he's not a seasoned vet like Steve Harvey is doing other things like that. I mean, he's on Masked Singer and does a lot of hosting stuff and shit like that and has his hands in a bunch of companies. But as far as hosting a talk show, it's a really big step for him, I feel like.
Yeah.
Actually, he does radio too. He's like a DJ on 106.
A podcast, I think. Does he have a podcast?
He has a podcast too, and he's like a daytime DJ for 106, like one of the popular ass radio stations in LA. And he's like, or at least he was doing that for a while. So he does everything. Moving on, New York. These topics gonna be rapid fire. Sorry, our listeners out there. The structure is just bang, 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 giving it to you. But New York Manhunt is over. This man was out there killing a bunch of homeless people, about 5 homeless people out there in the New York and DC area. He would just go in the middle of the night, kick them, wake them up and shoot them or stab them point blank. It was just crazy shit. And nobody knew where he was for a while, but he got caught today. His name was Gerald Brever III. He was caught on camera committing 3 of these crimes. The two of the other ones were like unsolved because they couldn't pin them on the guy. But they're claiming the guy had mental health issues as well. He was homeless, living in a cousin's house, couch surfing. And he wasn't even a violent guy. His family said he didn't have a violent bone in his body, but he just had a mental health break and was just out there killing homeless people, which is kind of crazy.
That's pretty violent. I don't know where that bone came from, but he found that shit somewhere. So.
Oh, man. Yeah. Shot dude in the head, point blank range. And a lot of this stuff was on camera, you know what I mean? So it's weird. People are crazy nowadays, and you never know. It's just like seems like a lot of mentally ill people are on the streets of New York right now. Especially, Man, I already talked about that story last week where that guy was rubbing shit in the lady's face. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, it was disgusting and just, I don't know.
That's nasty.
Public transportation is needed for people, and for them not to be safe out there in public transportation, homeless people living on the, yeah. But I mean, no reason to kill. I'm not trying to say it's just justification to kill anybody. Don't get me wrong, but these people,
they need to do something to help them get into a better circumstances. Like
right.
sometimes these people are like mentally ill, but it's like we don't really know what like facilities they have. Because I mean, you always hear about like in movies, like mental wards and shit like that, but I've never actually even seen what a real one would look like other than from movies. So it's like the motherfuckers might be horrible.
Right.
If they pick rather to be on the street homeless, or maybe they just don't know about them. I don't know. But
right. Yeah.
They should find something for these people. Like, even the ones who aren't like mentally ill, there's got to be ways to get them some kind of help.
Right. Right. Yeah. Usually they just, get arrested for a little bit and get let back on the streets. And they just kind of do these kind of crazy things. Again, I heard about people and homeless people pushing people in front of train tracks in New York. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Yeah, it's just crazy shit happening right now. And these mentally ill people need to get their help. People need to do a better job of identifying people that have mental health issues. I feel like it's not talked about enough in the public sphere. More right now, kind of more so it is. But, back in the day, you didn't want to be stigmatized as crazy. And I guess that's what people look at it as on movies and shit. Like you say, you only really see the cases of people that are mentally ill, like in Batman, Arkham Asylum and shit like that. But it's not that intensive. People that, that might break, might have like a mental break. It could be a bad day for somebody and they can just have a mental break like that. And shit, I don't know. I feel like we need to do a better job of kind of identifying mental health and getting help for that without being embarrassed to do so. Absolutely.
I agree.
What we got next? Should we talk about the Jessie Smallett sentencing? Juicy?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
See when he walked out like that.
Yeah, with the black power fist. Yeah,
I am not suicidal.
Yeah.
I said that from the beginning.
Yeah, I don't really understand what's going on. Taraji P. Henson and her assistant.
I think he was trying to keep himself from getting they say people were like Sandra Bland and all of them go to get locked up and end up dying. They say it's suicide.
Yeah.
So he's trying to say I'm not suicidal.
Right.
So if that happens, this is why.
Right. I heard his brother come out and say that as well, that they're trying to say that he had a note saying that he was suicidal or some shit like that. He was trying to report for his brother that he's not suicidal. And it is kind of crazy to me how I don't understand what he's defending. He's kind of standing behind what he was saying, that he didn't lie. It's like, bro, I don't understand what there's to defend anymore. And then I don't know. And inciting Black Lives Matter, not, just using that and, Black history to try to defend what you were doing. I don't think that's a good look. And for Taraji P. Henson and your sister, I know your sister's going to support you no matter what. And Taraji too, probably because you guys had such a good working relationship and you're probably really good friends. But for them to go out there and, do their darndest to try to stick up for you and explain what you've been doing and why you lied and justify the lie by saying these people got more time or less time for doing this than Jessie did for lying or this and that. But I don't know. I think it's doing more damage than it's helping. I feel like his jail sentence was too long. I think it's like 150 days in jail or something like that. 105 days, 150 days, some shit like that.
He'll probably only do half that shit.
Right, yeah, for good behavior. And he's gonna be in like what was it? He'll be segregation or some shit like that, separated from everybody.
No, he's not gonna be in general population, so he's probably gonna be in like a different. I don't know the names of them are, but because I ain't never been in prison or jail, but he's gonna definitely be separated from everybody else.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know.
That's interesting as fuck, man. I feel like he probably should just got like, house arrest and community service or some shit like that. But I guess setting a precedent not to lie about hate crimes because they're probably trying to make those super illegal at this point now. They're probably trying to throw jail time at people. So if you're going to lie about that kind of shit, you're going to have repercussions for crying wolf. And they're going to make an example out of you, Jessie. So
hopefully they should do that for everything. They should do that for everything.
Yeah.
They should do that for rape allegations that get found out to be real or get fake. I mean, the real ones, the person should go to jail and keep you thrown away.
Yeah.
But the fake ones, the woman should also be sent to jail and keep you thrown away.
Yeah.
And the man, vice versa. I don't know who men's are accusing women of rape, but any men,
any men's
any men's accusing no.
But yeah,
No,
hopefully Jesse and is safe in jail. Nothing happens to him. But man, he's gonna have to sit down for this one.
Maybe he'll like it.
Oh man.
It's
Hey,
so
I'm not going there. All right. So a couple of trailers came out for some new Disney Plus stuff. You know how we be rocking with the Disney Plus shows. We episodically review those things. The next one coming up, I believe, is Moon Knight, coming out March 30th. Some new previews, some new show posters have come out. Have you seen anything new so far? Are you excited? What are you most excited about?
I mean, yeah, it's just more Moon Knight stuff. I like the way it's going. I feel like it's gonna. I don't really know too much about the story of Moon Knight. I'm not a huge Moon Knight person or fan or whatever, but it seems like from what I'm reading, it's going similar with the story. But I think they're gonna do a lot of back and forth, like past and present, as well as like split personalities, which is gonna probably be confusing as fuck, to be honest. So,
Right. Yeah, that's dope
but
stuff. It looks like his
yeah,
costume has different personalities as well. You know what I'm saying? Like
definitely.
whenever it takes over his body, it was hella sick how he puts the costume on too. It just kind of like warps over his body.
It's like
And I feel,
Spawn, yeah.
yeah, and I feel like it's kind of going to be like, I don't want to say Deadpool. I feel like one of his personalities will be like Deadpool when he has the suit on. Hella like comical and suave. And then he'll have like the whole dark personality where he is really the caped crusader, kind of like the Batman of Marvel, kind of doing his thing. And then you see him without his suit on, actually dealing with that, speaking of mental health, his different personalities and trying to remember who he is. And then we're actually also going to see the god that gives him his powers. So I'm looking forward to a lot. Yeah. I'm looking forward to a lot in this show. Was it Kevin Bacon in the show too? Main villain? Is that what I saw?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. So a lot of good shit going down. If you haven't seen the trailer, go check it out, man. Moon Knight is actually one of my most interesting, solo comics that I've read. Sometimes I like the team up comics, really, to read about the stories of, the teams going at it. But one of the best solo comics that I did read has been Moon Knight, one of the most recent, you know what I'm saying? So if you haven't checked that out, especially if you're dealing with mental health issues, is a superhero for you that, you may be able to relate to, unlike like the godly powers and shit like that. But we also saw a trailer recently of Miss Marvel. How'd you feel about that? It showed you the powers of Kamala Khan, how they're going to be presented and all that stuff. How'd you feel?
I I'm supposed to like it because it's not like in the way that a dude my age is supposed to like. So it just seems like a little like a teen like a little teeny thing like for like teens. As far as what her power is, I was never a big fan of her anyways in the comic because I mean stretchiness is like a power that's not really needed for more her. Lucy is only one piece that can stretch good. He does it well. In Marvel, it should only be Doctor. What's his name again? Strange.
No, Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic. I said Doctor Strange. Goddamn. But yeah, so I mean that's why they changed her powers in this, so she's not stretchy. But then they pretty much just made her into like a weaker version of the Green Lantern.
Yeah, which is kind of wild. When she started running on the, running in the air with those spots that came under, like I'm like, what the hell is happening? But yeah, her powers seemed hella weird. It came from these bracelets that kind of like allow her to form the stretchy kind of powers that she had in the previous comics.
Is that what it was? It was bracelets.
It was bracelets. She put on a bracelet, and it kind of like went into her genes and her DNA and shit. And she was able to control it to create like figures and stuff like that.
Oh, because I know in the comics she's an Inhuman, so I thought they were gonna do a play on Inhumans, because they're talking about bringing the mutants in because they have Patrick Stewart. So when I bring the Inhumans in, because they completely fucked up with that show they had, the Inhumans.
Mm-hmm.
You watch that stupid shit? Yeah, that shit
kind of for a couple episodes.
Yeah, they fucked that up. But they had some parts that were good, but it was like mostly not that good. So hopefully they'll try and bring that back and do it right this time. But she is supposed to be one of them, like because the humans are different. You know about the humans, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How they're like a different version of like they're not really mutants. They're just something completely different. I don't know. But anyways,
it's like something completely different.
I mean, yeah, they're like normal until they hit like puberty, and then they go through this trial, and then they get their power,
Mm-hmm.
and that's pretty much what it is. But and they're also like live on some floating fucking island that floats around the world because it's weird. But I guess they're gonna go ahead and just veto that and just give her some fucking wristbands and make her have powers like the Green Lantern. I guess.
Yeah, it's weird.
She's throwing like stretchy Green Lantern fists at people and shit. So it's like
Right. They didn't really do too much of a good job showing exactly what it's going to happen, what it can do, what its limits are. It's kind of like a high school children's comedy. I don't know. We might have to skip it. You think we're gonna skip this one, or you think you're gonna review this one?
I don't know. See, to be honest, same with She-Hulk. I haven't really seen anything on She-Hulk, but I'm hoping that it's good. The trailers don't seem very appealing right now.
I feel it. Yeah. Well, I'm wishing for the best for Moon Knight. That shit's coming out in a couple weeks. We're definitely gonna be reviewing that. Miss Marvel, I think, comes out late, like summertime. I don't have the exact date, but we'll see about that. Another show coming out. I don't have the exact date, but Obi-Wan. Are you excited for that one?
Very, very. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I mean, I watch Rebels, I watched Clone Wars and all that stuff, and I don't know, I like the fact that they're taking characters that we've only seen in the cartoon or whatever and bringing them to live action. They've been doing that throughout the whole Mandalorian and Boba Fett thing now, so they're gonna do it again in the Obi-Wan thing. And I didn't really like the design, so I don't know if you saw the design of one of the characters in particular was what was his name? The Grand Inquisitor. Remember him? How like in the cartoon he's like a lot more thin and his face is like elongated, but here his face just looks like real thick and wide. He looks totally different. Like it's crazy. But like the worst part is like he's actually a different species, and the species that he is, they've already showed him in the movies before. They showed him in the old movies, like the episode 1, 2, and 3 back in the 90s and shit. They showed that species, and it looks nothing like his character now. So I don't really know what they're doing with that. So I don't know.
Up for that.
But other than that, it looks dope as fuck.
Right. Yeah, I saw it in Twitter today. So I just thought I brought it up. They supposedly wrote out Darth Maul from the show and added a Luke Skywalker scene instead of adding Darth Maul. I know you said it wouldn't really make sense for Darth Maul to be in it because it's supposed to be in relation to Rebels anyway. But it was something that was in Twitter that everybody was kind of reacting to because everybody was ready to see Darth Maul. But I don't know. Maybe people got a lot from that Mandalorian seeing, Luke make his return. So they want to see some more Luke Skywalker, and maybe that'll, add a little to the show.
But Luke is a little kid at that time.
Well, so, everybody loves little kids.
Yeah, but it won't even be like Mark Hamill, or it will be like a 10-year-old Luke who doesn't even have the Force yet, or doesn't use the Force yet.
That shit don't matter. There's a draw of Luke Skywalker. It might not even be more than one episode, honestly.
Well, they've already showed him in like the trailer. He's sitting there like he's flying something, but he's like on the top of his house or whatever. But yeah, I mean, they showed that. They showed a lot of the Inquisitors. They got like a new Inquisitor who's a black chick who I'm assuming is going to be like the main antagonist of the show. And I mean, you can pretty much tell what the show's going to be about. It's literally like Obi-Wan is trying to protect Luke until he can become the one to put balance to the Force or whatever. So since they're coming to this place, they're probably going to sense somebody has the Force, and they're going to go whoever that is. So I'm assuming he's going to just like make himself be more noticeable so he can leave the planet to attract them away from Luke. That's probably what it's going to be about. I'm assuming because from the trailer, it looks like.
I feel that. That's what's up. Yeah, I'm excited to see that. It should be coming out to Disney Plus soon as well. So there'll be a lot of Disney Plus stuff to talk about coming here soon. Excited about all that, man. Excited about all that. A couple of more quick topics here and we can get up out of here. How do you feel about Senate passing a bill to cancel daylight savings time. Do you care about daylight savings time at all anyway?
Nah, that shit got rid of that shit a long time ago.
A long ass time ago. I don't really think it matters too
Long.
much to me.
Yeah.
But I guess the basis on it is they wanted kids to be able to get to school when it's lighter out and it'd still be light when they get out of school. So I guess we're doing it for the kids in hindsight. So who can argue with that? We want to do it for the kids. So daylight savings time is now just going to be regular time.
This time.
I guess it's just going to be able to get darker and lighter as the year goes on instead of us changing the hours to satisfy it. I don't know. It's kind of a weird kind of statement to make. We're canceling daylight savings time because you can't cancel it unless you have the earth stop changing when the sun comes out. You're just changing.
Yeah, but
you're stopping the changing of the clocks.
I think what they're saying is just like time should be like time. It shouldn't have to like give it a move and change at our will because time is just keep it going like it's supposed to be. just because the world moves to a different part and like it's darker at a certain time, that shouldn't change the fact. Like in Alaska, look how long they'll have fucking months with no light and months with no darkness. So it's like
is it the same day? It's the same day all day.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be nuts. But yeah, in certain parts of the country, anyway, they were stopping kind of using the daylight saving. They never used daylight saving time in the first place, so we're kind of joining the rest of the country and whatever. A couple of more things here. Critical race theory in Mississippi. They're trying to pass a law where schools cannot teach critical race theory anymore. Nothing to do with sex, race, ethnicity, religion, or anything like that being talked about as inherently inferior or superior. So they want nothing in school to even be close to teaching anything close to those lessons: sex, race, ethnicity, religion, or anything like that. Do you think they're trying to erase history?
I was about to say, when they throw race in there, the problem with that is you wipe out a lot of history that this country did. That is just a clever way for them to be like, let's not talk about all the fucked up shit we did because they did a bunch of fucked up shit.
Yeah, it's fucked up because that's pretty much all it is.
So people would just have to come up with a clever way to write history when talking about slavery.
Yeah.
Try and keep race out of it and like, oh yeah, well, a certain group of people enslaved a certain group of people, and then do with race. They were just people.
Right. And I kind of feel like they already kind of do that now. They only give you a bit of what happened, why they're able to take the African people to become slaves in the first place. They kind of like monetize it as like they did it for money less than that it was an evil thing to do. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, well, there's another story we're going to talk about here, how a school out in Georgia, in the county in Georgia, they had a fake slave auction at one of the recesses at a school. It was like kindergarten through 8th grade. And I guess it was like during a break or a recess period, the white kids were selling off some of the black kids in a fake auction, a fake slave auction. You know what I'm saying? And they thought it was okay to do that. And they had to be taught it somewhere. And for them to think that was okay to do teaches you already they're trying to phase ethical, racial stuff out of history in the first place. For little ass kids from kindergarten to 8th grade to be able to know about, how to do this, how to set it up. They said they sold a kid for $350. They had the white kid being a slave master. We only found out about this because one of the students he did go home and tell his mom, and his mom reported it to the school, and they're taking it to the school board and stuff like that. I just don't know how there's no teacher out there seeing what was going on to break it up, to stop it. Were they encouraging it? It's just weird as hell for people not to know that slavery was something that was done, that was evil, or what exactly happened during slavery, or even like with religion and the Holocaust and stuff like that. Like for people to try to kind of like phase that out of education, I feel like something that kids need to know, or there'll be more situations like this or even worse. You know what I mean?
Or when they get to college, they're gonna get like, I feel like once they get to high school, they should learn that. Because I mean, for the longest, you're told like Columbus is a good person. Then you get to high school, and hopefully you'll have a high school teacher who tells the truth or whatever, and they'll be like, yeah, Columbus was a horrible human being who murdered a lot of people, committed genocide. Mm-hmm. And I was like, when they told me that, I was like, God damn, like why the fuck do you celebrate this day and that day or whatever? And I feel like it's the same thing with a lot of these like people who we celebrate days for now, presidents and whatnot. When you really look deep down inside of it, yeah, they did a lot of the shit that we consider heinous nowadays. At the time, it was the norm, but I mean, regardless if it was the norm or not, that shit's still heinous as fuck.
Yeah.
Like you own people, own human beings. So I don't care what time period it was and how accepted it was still like there's no way you can think that's morally right to own a human being. So.
Exactly. Yeah. So I hope that bill doesn't get passed, man. It's just a lot of did you hear about the law? I forgot where it was, but was it US in the USA? They just passed a bill to make lynching a hate crime
I mean, it should have been a hate crime, but I
a
think
long time ago. Yeah. And there was
I don't
actually
know.
2 senators that voted against making it a hate crime, which is nuts, which is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So just to see that only for that to be a hate crime now, it just shows how much further we need to go in eliminating all this race and critical studies out of schools is just going to push us further back. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to.
But I think at the same time, it's hard to declare lynching to be a hate crime because what if somebody just like lynches somebody in general with nothing to do with race? I understand if it was like a white person do it to a black person or vice versa or whatever like that. But what if it's just a white person lynching another white person? Because we declare lynching a hate crime, then that's considered a hate crime now. I mean, he technically hated the person because he lynched them, but I mean,
yeah, I feel like you shouldn't lynch nobody in the first place. That's just a fucking crazy way to go.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's just hateful. You have to hate somebody to do that to them. So either way,
Yeah,
either fucking way. That's good to hear. But yeah, man, the world's crazy. A lot of shit in the government. I feel like we're focusing on the wrong thing. There's more prominent issues in hand. But I don't know. A lot of the prominent issues get thrown under the radar, and we just hear about Senate passing these bills that are outrageous. Like, was it Texas in that abortion bill, that anti-abortion bill?
probably.
I think Idaho's trying to pass a bill where making it illegal for women to get abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy. Yeah, it's just getting nuts out there. These fucking laws that we don't actually hear about until after they get passed or after they're on the table to get passed. Like it's just nuts. So I think we need to pay a little bit more attention and just kind of demand more. You know what I'm saying? From our government and just so this shit like education should be one of the most lauded after things to try to improve, but they're trying to do things to take away from it.
They should change education, the whole education system anyways. I feel like the times to teach kids certain skills should be when they're young because that's when their mind's the most impressionable. But instead they teach them. I mean, I understand like mathematics and shit is important, but I mean, you can literally teach them like skills that are useful because a lot of the shit you teach them in school you never use again in life. But they should like rearrange it to where teaching them shit like at a young age they should be learning computer science and shit like that. I feel like at a very young age.
Yeah, hell yeah.
By the time because it's almost like learning a new language anyway. So by the time they become like I don't know, by the time they get to like 18, they'll be able to speak computer science fucking like it's a language damn near. So.
Yeah, for sure. Because all we really learned young is how to type on a computer, how to send emails really young. But shit, like if we knew what I knew now as a young kid, we'd be a lot further. Just knowing how to compose a basic email can get you so much further in life. People can just see how competent you are from that. And no, I feel like they don't really teach that kind of stuff in school.
They should teach you fucking stocks, taxes, all that
coding,
shit in school.
For sure.
All that. Well, that's what computer science is. It's coding.
Well, shit. Like marketing, I feel like you should learn early.
All that shit. But the problem is the reason why is because the school system was created to make workers, not bosses. So if you have everybody learning all these skills that would make them technically bosses, then we would have a bunch of rich motherfuckers.
Well, that's not bad, and a bunch of good ideas and a bunch of useful shit in the world that can help us.
It ain't bad, but in like when you have a
conglomerate it is bad because you don't want people taking the money that could possibly go to you type shit.
Yeah, I mean, you want more money because that makes the economy better. But if everybody has a bunch of money, when you have a capitalism type of situation, you got to have people who are poor in order for you to be rich. So you can't have like both. You can't just have everybody be rich. It doesn't work that way.
There'll always be the people that don't use the skills of school to become rich. So there'll always be people that are kind of like not as rich as the people that do use the resources needed to make you rich if you made it easier for those people.
That's true, but I mean, the majority of the consumers are usually people who are middle class to poor. So we want to keep a lot of them around.
Man, I don't know. It just, everybody's consumes. It's just make some things more affordable to people that we're not allowing to get.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
You know that you're holding these glass ceilings above.
Yeah, like it should be more realistic for a middle class person to be able to obtain a home in the Silicon Valley, but
right.
it's clearly not.
Yeah.
You can't, you know, in most places in the country, other than places like New York or the Bay Area or LA, like that. Well, even LA, you can. Most middle class people can obtain a home. You know, you can work and get a home. In those areas, you could be making like 50 to 60K a year, and you have no help getting a home.
Mm-hmm.
You can barely get an apartment making that. So.
Yeah, man. It's a cycle, man. But yeah, hey, we talked. We went on a little tangent there, but it comes to the end of the episode where I like to let them know where they can find you at. Unless there's anything else you wanted to talk about, any topics you had that you want to talk about.
I don't think so.
Any music, any TV shows you watch, and you want to let the people know about?
I was watching this show my brother just told me about called From. You ever heard of that?
From?
Mm-mm. Yeah, so it's look it up. It's just called From. It's a scary show. I think it's only like 6 episodes so far, but it's pretty decent. It's kind of creepy.
It's
like
out right now, so it's like more than 6 episodes that are coming out.
So the first 3 episodes are free, and then the last 3 you gotta whatever the streaming service is. It's called like Dex or something. I don't know what the fuck it's called.
Wow, it's on a whole something different, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, you can get the first 3 for episodes for free, and then you can get a free 7-day trial and watch the other one. So
I'll probably stream it. I'll probably stream it from a site that I know. Wink, wink.
But it's some scary shit though. Yeah,
it's scary as fuck.
No, it's not scary shit. I'm just talking about the shit that's going on is like creepy, and it's like a lot of killing and gory shit. So.
Oh, nice. That'll be tight. I'm down for that for sure. I've been watching that new Lakers show on HBO Max. It's showing how the Lakers went from kind of not really being good to winning all those championships. Jerry Buss and Magic Johnson. I forgot exactly what it's called. Let me check that out real quick. What else am I watching? I just watched the Adam Project on Netflix. Ryan Reynolds. A little time travel flick. Me and Veronica were also watching this one show about this medium. You see that shit on there? He's a celebrity medium, and he goes around talking to people and making connection with the dead and kind of like talking to people for like famous people type shit. Pretty interesting.
What is it on?
Netflix.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good actually. He like takes like a notebook and he starts like scribbling in it and he like starts making a connection and then he starts saying shit. And
I can do that shit too.
No, you have to watch it. You should check it out. Check it out. Like it's pretty dope.
You start scribbling a notebook and saying shit. I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, check it out. Maybe you'll understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, what that show on HBO Max? That's what I was gonna grab. Let's see what that shit is. It's pretty interesting. It had dude from Step Brothers. Not Will Ferrell, but the other dude. It's called Winning Time. Winning Time: The Rise of the Lakers. It's hella tight actually. It's rated TV mature, so it's like not one of those like kind of like super TV type, kind of like wishy-washy type shits where NBC type, nothing like that. It's a HBO Max actual show, so pretty dope. Check that out. If you're a Lakers fan, you probably love it. The guy that plays Magic Johnson does a really good job. They also had a new kind of Blade Runner TV show, kind of animated series come out on HBO Max. Pretty tight. It's called Black Lotus. So it's pretty dope. I haven't watched it yet, but it looks good. It looks pretty good. But yeah, that's it. Best of Bias listeners, thank you for being with us. I know we had a couple of technical difficulties during the episode, but bear with us, man. You know us, play us fuck up sometimes. But thank you for being here. AKA, you want to let them know where they can find you at?
Yeah, Akil Young. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, on Instagram.
Shit. Yeah, you can look up some music. Look up Pretty Ugly. The album is said and done. I think it's like 6 songs on there. We're actually making a couple more songs right now, so I'm gonna try and shoot you a beat too. So
Hey, I'm always
something
down for
together.
that.
Yeah,
Down to drop
definitely.
some rhymes. I've been rapping on the way to work every day, you know what I'm saying? Because the hour-long drive to get 28, to get 12 miles, which is nuts. Hour and 10
Yeah.
minutes to get 12 miles in this fucking traffic. So I have plenty of
And then,
time to freestyle the whole way.
yeah, and then think about gas prices.
Yeah, that shit's fucked up. I be paying hella money during the week to put gas in my car.
And
But
every time I see it, that shit dropping, I be getting mad as fuck. Like, God, it's getting closer.
yeah, man, it's like, goddamn. And I be driving uphill, downhill, and shit like that. I got to get new tires. It's just getting bad out here for auto vehicles. You know what I'm saying? But you know where to find your boy at. It's SAC_Lydell on the Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat. You can find the podcast, Best of Bias, on the Instagram, Best of Bias on the YouTube, where we post all the episodes on there. After we record it right here in the audio version, we put it right there on YouTube so you can see it if you ain't got the podcast, platforms. If you ain't got Apple Podcasts, if you don't got Spotify, Google Play, Anchor, any of that, you can find us on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Best of Bias. About 56, 57 episodes now. Like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification button. So every time we drop an episode, every Friday, of course, you'll get a notification of that. And you know what I'm saying? You can watch the episode there or listen to the episode, you know what I'm saying? New merch dropping. It's going to be out Monday. Mark it. This Monday, I have the merch for you guys ready to drop. It's in process of getting made right now. I'll show you guys a sneak preview like last week of I think it was the trucker hat, but I got a buckets, beanies, all that shit coming. I still got these in the bag. So photos will be coming soon, letting you guys know it's popping, but Monday is the day. I will have the hats on deck. So holla at me, hit me up in the DMs if you want to get you one of the Best of Bias second drops. The Hard Eyes Best of Bias bear, you know what it is. And if you want the regular hat, I still got those too on deck. You know what I'm saying? New music, all that shit coming soon. Brand new anime episode. We're gonna switch it up. We're not necessarily doing anime kumite this time. AKA Deshaun proposed a new idea for the episode. So we're gonna be bringing you a best of kind of episode of anime. And we're gonna bring you some top fights, top characters, top shows. It's gonna be an episode of tops, just to talk about some stuff in the anime sphere and probably bring some gaming talk too, because there's a lot of stuff in the gaming world we haven't talked about. A lot of new games out, and a lot of stuff I need to inform you guys about my gaming. You know what I'm saying? So a lot more content. It's the Best of Bias podcast. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think we good. Hey, and if you guys want to send me a Funko Pop, go ahead and buy one, and you can shoot it to the house too. Love you guys. But yeah, at this point, this is where I like to let them know where my theme song at, or ask them where my theme song at, or show them where my theme song at. But do you guys even have to guess anymore? It's right here. Bang.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. The best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias. You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast.